There's a new album from Washed Out!
Hello, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. My needle drops. And it's album review time. Washed Out, Within and Without. To change this. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Relevant to the topic at hand. Alright, Washed Out is the solo electronic project of music producer Ernest Green, who in 2009 gathered a lot of attention, a lot of buzz because he was riding, maybe not by his choice, the wave of popularity, fueling this new genre known as chillwave. But by now we all know that chillwave is not real, the cake is a lie, the blogosphere was very young and reckless, we didn't know what we were doing. I'm sorry. So let's put that insanity behind us and take this album for what it really is. An album of atmospheric and ethereal synth pop tunes that glisten like the sun on the open ocean. This thing has 9 tracks spanning 40 minutes, and it is a very blissful 40 minutes. Just take a look at the opening track, Eyes Be Closed. That track, in terms of sound and texture, pretty much treads the same water that Washed Out was swimming through on the Life of Leisure EP. But here, the sounds are a little deeper, a little brighter, a little more expensive sounding. The sounds are very lightly smudged with reverb, so are the vocals, which are not very intelligible because of that. But you know, in the reverb's defense, the vocals aren't very intelligible even when they're not smothered in echo. Ernest doesn't really like to articulate his lyrics all that well. And not that it's terrible, but it kind of ends up sounding like angelic moaning descending from heaven. The production and the sounds are really kind of what make this LP shine, make it worth visiting. And that's what Ernest Green was doing best when this project started, so in a way things really haven't changed all that much. Maybe they haven't changed enough to really kind of keep me excited about this album, even though I was enjoying the previous efforts. My only major issue with this album kind of comes down to the songwriting. There are a lot of songs that just kind of rely on one single light, feathery groove to kind of carry the weight of the entire track. And Washed Out just kind of lets the melodies and the chords and the song structures get swallowed in all this reverbed murkiness and haze. And while I do like echoes, I do like atmosphere, I like something behind that too, kind of empowering it. And while I do like grooves, you know, I love great beats, I love great bass lines, I like my grooves a little harder than the brand of beats that have kind of been pulled together on this LP. Tracks like Eyes Be Closed and Echoes sound really, really good, but there's not much behind the sound to kind of keep me engaged and keep me interested. It doesn't really seem like something for the foreground, I guess. Maybe more of a soundtrack. Maybe a soundtrack to whatever they're doing on the cover. Looks fun. Not every song is completely underwhelming for me, though. Things kind of brighten up on the next 2 songs, Soft and Amor Fati, where these Caribbean and these island sounds kind of come into play with these bongos and these very bright, bouncy keyboards. The songs themselves still aren't blowing me away, but that track is just so juicy. It is a watermelon, it is a whole sleeve of starbursts, it's a handful of strawberries. But I think my favorite number on here is easily Far Away. On that track, the haze and the effects kind of take a back seat to concentrate on the songwriting, the song structure. It's not all lost in the haze. I hear a really deep, sexy bass line, backed with some huge drums and shakers, and Ernest's voice over all of it sounds pretty sensual here. I love the twinkling melodies over this track, and there's string arrangements in it too, and they're perfectly crafted, mixed, and incorporated, showing how ambitious this project can be when it wants to be. Not every song here really wowed me like that one, though. The only other strong song on here for me is You and I track reviewed that one a long time ago when that was sort of an Adult Swim single. I'm not going to go too deeply into it now, but the track review video for that song is linked below this video. You can pretty much see me freak out over the song, and I still feel very strongly about it. Love it. The title track of this LP starts off well enough. The first 2/3 have a nice beat. The music moves really well, but then all of a sudden it gives way to these sparkling sounds, this sonic glitter, and it does that for a minute and then kind of uses that as an excuse to just fade the song out. And there may or may not be a band who may or may not have written a song which sounds a little similar to the melody on the title track here. The band may or may not be Linkin Park. Numb. But at least the LP kind of ends pretty well, with the ambition that I liked so much on a few previous tracks. Starts off as a really simple, quiet, soft piano ballad, and with the effects that Ernest Green uses, the piano just has this really cascading, shimmering effect that I love. Sounds beautiful. And the song swells really nicely, subtly introducing horns and all this atmosphere that I can't really explain completely. It's just very enveloping. Overall, Within and Without is a very light, easygoing, not exactly memorable, but pastel-colored album that sounds like a blurry memory of a summer day on the beach in 1985. The blurriness is part of the appeal, I imagine it is, but that same blurriness also kind of makes it difficult for me to grasp some of these songs, because I feel like I'm really reaching into some of these tracks and grabbing, but all I'm doing is just waving my arms through clouds of mist. There are some very strong and memorable tunes on here, and proof that this guy is definitely trying to advance his sound, his craft, his style, and that there is ambition here that I hope grows on future Washed Out releases. I liked this, but I didn't love it. I actually think I liked the original EP more, but still, looking forward to the future. Feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this, but who cares? What does Cal think? That's important.
Washed out is very important, because a clean baddie is a healthy baddie. And if you bathe once a day, that's good.
You heard it here. Bathing. Forever.